Saturday night.
Time for your weekly dose of pop culture.
With Kathy and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Woo! Welcome, pop culture kids. It's Saturday night time for Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture. We are your hosts, Kathy and my brother.
Kenny?
You got one line, one
I got
responsibility.
one.
We are coming
One
to you.
line.
One line, just one line. One line. Can I get a line? We are coming to you live on the interwebs, Facebook, YouTube, as well as Instagram Live. We're trying Instagram Live. I don't know how that works or what it even looks like because I don't know whether I didn't change the aspect ratio. So we might not be coming in, in the right way. I don't know. I'm learning all the things, so bear with me. Bear with me. So, but in any case, we thank you for being here, for hanging out with us, and hopefully, if you are on Instagram Live, shoot us a comment so that we know you're in the house. That would be great. And Ralph, hey, and what's up? Saw him coming in during the pre-show intro, and of course, cousin Lisa. Good evening.
Lisa.
So glad to see you this Sunday night as we
so
get
glad to
on
see
with the
ya.
get on.
Ralph,
So-
what's up, buddy? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Ralph's my old guitar player from Offshot.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool deal. Anyway, we are again live on I know the intro says Saturday night because we made that during the pandemic, and that's what we used to do Saturday night. But now that pandemic's over and things were happening between Kenny doing voiceover and live work and me, just doing the things and living life. Saturday wasn't always great, but Sunday was kind of way to kick back, do the show, and get ready for the week ahead. Although, I don't know, we might need to push it up just so I can get to bed because I'm old.
You know what? We could move it up to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, maybe we'll move it up to 8 o'clock.
We can move it up to 8 o'clock for next week.
All right, we'll give it a try. So what's going on in your world?
I'm very excited because I got a new wah pedal for my bass and I learned a new song. So I'm excited about that. When we get off from doing this, I'm going to record myself doing a new song with my new wah pedal, and I'm gonna post it on social media.
Ah, okay. So
It's a Maxwell cover.
So when are you going to play the bass on the show?
Whenever you want me to.
All right. Well, and again, I know I'm not going to put you on the spot, so maybe next week you can plan.
Maybe next week.
Maybe
I
next
also
week
learned.
we'll do
I also learned Rapper's Delight
Oh, to the hip.
with a
hop.
hip hop. I'll play it and you rap it. I can't play it and rap it at the same time.
I would have to look up the words.
You don't remember the words of Rappers? How can you not remember
Lord
the
have
words of Rappers
mercy.
Delight?
That was so long ago. That was
Yeah,
over 40 years
yeah.
ago. Come on now.
I put it on my loop pedal and I performed it last Friday at the Winona Lake.
Uh-huh.
And I put it on loop and I did the whole thing hip hop, hip hop, you don't stop, rock it to the bang bang boogie, say up chuck the boogie, rhythm on the boogie beat.
See, yeah, again, like I know the main chorus, and what you hear is not a test. I'm repping to the beat. I would have to look the words up because I really don't remember. But I remember a couple years ago, and I can't remember what movie. I remember a couple years ago, and I don't remember what movie it was in, but there was like an old woman like rapping, Rapper's Delight. Do anybody?
Oh,
See, this is when you
I
need
don't know.
Ed, because Ed would know these things off the top of his head.
I don't know what movie that is.
All right. Well, let's start off as we start off every Sunday night with a little pop culture news, because again, our show was just about hanging out, going through some old memories and making some new ones. But we wanted to kind of give a feature and offer kind of some information, especially what's going on in pop culture and pop culture news. So that is one of our features, but I don't know what the right button is to press. Hopefully, I hit the
Wow.
right button. I'm having a time today for some reason. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going
it's
on.
okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Some days I
So
have
we're
a
gonna start
time.
off.
Ah, okay. Thank you, Ralph. It was The Wedding Singer.
I've never seen The Wedding Singer.
Oh my God, Kenny. Every week we uncover just gaps in your pop culture knowledge. I was actually going to see if I was going to check with uh, the VHS Club to see if maybe we could come on as kind of like guests when they review a movie. But I would be embarrassed because half the movies, because they do a lot of 80s and 90s movies from
I
back in the
know a lot of
day.
80s and 90s movies. They probably would do something I would
But you
know
have
if
such
I knew ahead
big
of time.
gaps in not
I
everybody
got
is a
big
big
gaps.
fan
I
of
just
like Grease 2.
Everybody's a fan of Grease 2. Grease 2 is the greatest musical ever made
Oh God,
after
no.
West Side Story and Singing in the Rain.
Okay.
It's up there with Stormy Weather, West Side Story, Singing in the Rain, and it's up there with those.
Anyway.
So, then on to our pop culture news. Let's talk about art imitating life. Art
Art.
imitating life.
Oh,
Everyone
and
knows the movie. Everyone knows the movie, The Notebook. And Gina
now
Rowland
wait.
started a
You
new.
said everybody knows the movie The Notebook, but have you even seen the movie The Notebook?
I have not. I've seen parts of it. But look. I get a pass on The Notebook. The Notebook is not a
Oh
dude's
my
type of
God, The
story, man.
Notebook is so good. Come on.
Okay. Hey Ralph, you're in a. Have you seen The Notebook? I bet you says no. Don't say yes and lie. But anyway, Gina Rowland, who starred as the old woman in The Notebook, the woman who was she got older for the whole story. She had Alzheimer's disease in that movie. Well, life imitates art because now she really does have Alzheimer's disease, as reported by her son and her
Listen,
manager.
and I love me some Jenna Rollins. She is just, I mean, from Gloria, which you probably didn't see.
I saw Gloria.
Okay, one of my favorite movies, and I don't think you've seen it either, is called Playing by Heart. It's these vignettes of all these different stories, and they wind up tying together at the end. But it was her and Sean Connery, and it's about relationships. It's called Playing by Heart. It's really good. You should see it. In any case, um, but she's just incredible in it. And there's another movie. It- oh, 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 a movie directed by Forrest Whitaker with Sandra Bullock and the Jenna Rollins plays her mother. Hope Floats. You've never seen Hope Floats either. I don't even know why we do this. I mean, come on, come on. Yes, Ralph,
Yes,
you are right. You're
Ralph.
so right.
Gloria was a badass movie. Gloria was a
Gloria
badass movie.
was badass. And it was
So,
around the time when did you see The Professional? It was also released as Leon with Natalie Portman and no. Okay. You just I don't know what to do with you. I just don't know. I
there's certain
mean,
movies
I don't know.
look.
It's
But
a
you know
pop
what?
culture show
I
for
have
goodness
seen
sakes.
I have seen every Fast and Furious movie, and you have not. That says what?
That says that I have discerning taste, or maybe that I actually have taste. But I did because of this show actually go and watch The Fast and the Furious, and I stand by my review. It is Point Break with cars.
Okay, moving
Ta-da!
moving on to pop culture news. Bill Cobbs, the actor Bill Cobbs, who is is an actor that I know once we show the picture of him, you're gonna say, I know that guy. He's not a guy that you would know his name off the bat, but he's been in a lot of things. One of the things I think I've seen him in was That Thing You Do.
He was in
He
That Thing
played
You
the jazz.
Do?
He played the jazz musician in That Thing You Do.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah,
That's where
yeah,
most people would know him. That Thing
yeah.
You
And
Do.
he's done a lot of other
And
things,
Ralph,
but
I'm
Bill
not sure
Cosby.
what movie you're commenting on. If you're saying Fast and Furious is a great movie, then we got problems. Um, maybe I'll go with Die Hard as a great movie, but in any case,
But anyway, Bill Cobbs was 90 years old at the time of his passing,
wow,
and
that's a
this
long
man was
life.
in dozens of, just check his record. He was in dozens of TV shows, movies, a lot of things. He's had a long, extensive career, so
Mm.
he'd be greatly missed. Next on my watch, because I'm fully vested in this whole story, on the what is it, Geneflect or Genflect or what? Anyway,
Benifer, Jim Flex.
Jennifer,
I don't.
whatever.
You know what? It's
But
so
Jennifer,
funny because I do these little pop ups for whatever the news is, and I actually. I didn't have to change this one because you had them in the news last week. So you are
yeah,
all in. You are
I am all in for this, and I think if I had to choose, I might be I might be Team Ben because Jennifer, I don't know, she's something about her. But in any event,
Team Ben.
Ben Affleck, it's been reported that Ben Affleck has moved all his belongings out of the mansion that he shares with J Lo.
Ouch. Well, I was all confused about her going off tour for more time with family, but then vacationing in Italy. Like, that ain't make no sense.
Yeah, while she was in Italy, that's when he moved all his stuff.
Oh, okay.
He moved all
Yeah.
his stuff while she was in Italy.
Well, you know what? They broke like
So
the number one rule. Like, you don't go back. Cause weren't they
yeah, you
engaged
don't.
at
Yeah,
one point and then it ended and he wound up marrying Jennifer, another Jennifer. It's like,
yeah.
oh, I got the wrong
Well, yeah.
Jennifer.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's something that a buddy of mine, my buddy Big Mike, always says. When you talk about going back to an old girlfriend or whatever, he goes, "Look, old shoes don't fit the same.
The wisdom of the ages. Old shoes don't fit the same.
Old
That's
shoes don't fit
just
the same."
something wrong with that.
Next on our list of pop culture news, we have another death of a great actor and comedian. Martin Mull has passed away at the age of 80.
hmm
And Martin Mull, you'll know him, you remember him from Clue. Um,
Fernwood, wasn't he in Fernwood Tonight?
from what tonight? I haven't seen that one, but he was in
Of
what's that
course
Michael
not.
Keaton one? What's the Michael Keaton one? Stay home. That he was a stay home dad.
Mr. Mom?
Mr. Mom. Mr. Mom. He was Martin Mull was
Did
in
you
Mr.
see
Mom.
that one?
Yeah, I see Mr. Mom. And Mr. Mom was one of my favorite comedies.
But you just don't know the name of it.
But Mr. Mom. And one
Okay.
little boy's name was Kenny. He's like, Kenny will talk.
Kitty
Yeah,
will talk.
Kenny will talk.
I remember that.
But Martin Mull, and I loved him in Clue. I loved him in so many different things. I know he was on Roseanne in his career. He did some of Roseanne TV shows, but he was a very, funny guy. Next on our list of pop culture news, and this is very interesting to me. I knew he was in debt, but Michael Jackson, at the time of his death, was 500 million in debt at the time of his death.
Wow.
500 million. Not 500,000, not 5 million. I don't know how do you
That's
get
like half a
500 million
billion
in debt.
dollars. Well, I think some of the, extravagant stuff he was spending. Well, if you're spending that kind of money just to go to sleep at night with a doctor hooking you up to drugs, Lord knows you're probably going to be in debt. And then, they said he
So
brought all this, elaborate stuff and, had homes decorated like crazy.
Well, it comes in that some of this debt was from the estate buying a stake in the EMI music publishing, including the rights to Motown classics and songs by Carole King and Norah Jones for $50,000 in 2012, and then selling them to Sony for 300 million in 2018. Because of this and other successes, um, Ranka and McLean are seeking court authorization to compensate various law firms for more than 3 million in total for services provided that year. So another law firm is trying. It's just a whole bunch of money going around because he was so far in debt. I mean, a lot of that debt has been. I'm sorry. The statement I read was what happened to that debt because when he died, he had that debt, but now that debt is no longer there, and that's because he bought and sold a lot of things.
Wait, after he died? You mean his
I
estate?
think no, his estate sold his estate bought EMI Music Publishing for 50,000 in 2012, and then sold it for 300 million
Oh,
in
okay.
2018. So he's no longer his estate is no longer 5 million in debt because that all went to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then so they're doing a lot of some other things to retrieve the money. And of course, after Michael Jackson died, some of the sales on his paraphernalia, his albums, and things like that went up,
Oh, yeah.
and the state was able to collect for that. So that was the one pop culture news. Last pop culture news, and I don't like talking about this woman.
I was surprised to see it on there because I know that's not your cup of tea.
Well, I put it on there because I'm flabbergasted that this is a thing. That's my problem. I'm flabbergasted that this is a thing. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce movie. The NFL and Hallmark are teaming up for a holiday movie starring these two knotheads.
So we have to assume they're going to be together by the time. Well, I guess they film the holiday movies like in July and August, so they just have to hang in for another month or so. But it would be interesting to see if the relationship lasts through to Christmas time
Look,
when this movie comes out. They're
look,
actually going to star in the
sometime,
movie?
yes, sometime by November they're gonna be broken up, and by Christmas time she's gonna have a song out about him.
Yeah, her history is a little sketch too. So
Yeah. Look,
she got
I
one
have
of
a lot
those.
of
She got
problems
one
with
of
Taylor.
those J-Lo paths.
Yeah, I got a lot of problems with Taylor Swift, and my jaw's still a little tight from when the whole thing with Nicki Minaj. I know they cool with each other now, but Nicki Minaj spoke out about something, and Taylor Swift told her need to open her mouth and make it about her when it was a black issue, and you should have kept your mouth shut. I haven't forgotten that, Taylor. I haven't forgotten that at all. We never gonna be cool. Let's keep it moving.
We will never, ever, ever get back
Ever
together.
be cool.
Ralph, that's the question. In what ways are these two interesting, and why
Ralph,
are
I
people
don't know
so
why.
obsessed?
I don't know why they're so obsessed. Our show tonight is about
Is
people that are famous to other people. And because Taylor Swift has been dating Travis Kelce, and the Kelce brothers were famous for football, but now their mother's been in the news, their sister's been in the news, the wives have been in the news, all because this whole Kelce thing, and I'm damn sick of it.
you were just hating on
I'm hating on
TNT.
all of it. I'm hating on all. I was at a Well, when we were at that thing, that podcast the other week that we sat and watched, that guy is replacing the guy we saw, the eagle that we saw in that interview is
Mhm.
replacing Kelsey, and I'm glad.
That Cam, I forgot his name.
Yeah,
Cam
I
something.
forgot his name, but the thing that is that
And that was at the Friars Place. The
yeah,
Friars Place podcast, which comes on Fridays, and you can find that on YouTube as well. Mhm.
and the thing about it is last week he was bartending down the shore, and they made it a new story. Well, he was doing a benefit too, so I can see why. But it was all the other Eagle players were there, but it was all centered around, and you know what? I click because I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Well, I know
Tired.
you've lost patience for football, and I get it, but and I
Yeah, I
don't know.
lost
I think
patience
what
with football.
happens too is people, and again, people cling to the story. It's kind of like your fascination with the whole Benifer, or what did you call it? The app Genflex?
I
Gen,
don't know what it's called, but but the thing of it is that at least that's a little interesting. There's a guy that used to be Batman and
because
Jennifer
the guy
Lopez,
used to
like
be Batman. That's the only reason why
you
you're
know.
interested in it.
But you got,
But if you think
I
about
have a
it, there
former
are some
football.
celebrity couples have that even though both of them have been famous, it has worked. If you look at Kira
Yeah,
Sedgwick and Kevin Bacon, or
if you look at Goldie Hawn and
Kurt Russell, even though I don't think they
Kurt
ever got
Russell, yes,
married, but they've been
but they've
together
been
for like
together
years.
forever.
Or oh, what's her name? Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick,
Oh, you
or
know what?
what's her name? Oh, you know what? We didn't put him on the list though. Freddie Prince Jr. and
Oh,
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
or Tempest Bledsoe and the young man who played Ron from Different World. They've been together all these years.
Oh wow. Okay. So I mean, there
Tempest
are
Bledsoe from
celebrity
Cosby.
couples who make it
Yeah.
work. So,
Oh yeah. There are. There
but
are. But I mean, that's what it is. But I'm tired of the NFL and I'm tired of Taylor Swift. And then when you put them both together, I'm done. Done.
let's see. Do you need another
Totally
moment to
done.
rant? I mean, I can give you a
No, I
minute.
don't. I don't want to rant about it. I don't want to give that much attention. But I'm done. I don't need to see Taylor Swift in anything anymore. They have some. There's some rumors at
Well,
one
you know
point
what?
of
There'll be a
her.
Hallmark movie coming soon, like it or not, because
No,
there's
I am
money on the
not. I'm
table
not watching it.
and people aren't going to leave money on the table. It's,
Well, there was a rumor about her joining the MCU, the
mhm.
Marvel Universe,
Oh, okay.
and you're gonna make me stop watching Marvel movies, and I love Marvel movies because been a comic book geek, as you can see, since I was 10 years old. I'm 57. I'm 57. That's 47 years, and you're gonna make me stop watching movies once you put Taylor Swift in it. Don't put Taylor Swift in it. Don't put Taylor Swift in a Marvel movie. Don't put her in a DC movie. Don't put her in any superhero movies at all. Matter of fact, don't put her in any movies. Just let her sing on stage and don't go to a concert. Okay, I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Kenny's rant is done.
Let's move on.
No Taylor Swift in the MCU. Although, again, if they are wanting to keep their franchise going, and I'm sorry, but she's like a car wreck. People will stop and watch. That Eras tour is making money. Studios are about making that money. So if they see an opportunity, I'm sure they're going to take advantage of it. You probably
Integrity.
the
Have a little
next the
integrity.
next
She was
Marvel movie is probably going to have everything from Taylor Swift to Dua Lipa to Sexy Red. They just going to throw everybody in there to make some money. Talent be damned.
By the way, you saw Bad Boys 4, didn't you?
I did not see Bad Boys 4. We talked about doing a
I saw.
review on it, and the weekend I was down there, we didn't have time to go see it.
No, I saw Bad Boys 4 today,
Hmm.
and I'm going to suggest you go see it. It's a good. Okay, it's not going to win any awards. It's not going to win any Oscars. But it was a fun movie, and it was a good time. And it's exactly what you expect from a Bad Boys movie.
And if it did win an Oscar, chances are somebody would probably slap Will Smith before he could pick it up.
Well, Will Smith can't. Will Smith can't be nominated for an Oscar anyway. He's banned for 10 years from the Oscars.
Oh, okay.
So he can't win anyway.
Now, do I need to go back and watch the other three first?
If you've never seen them, I've seen I've seen
I've
all
seen
the
them, but it's
Bad Boy
been so
movies.
long.
No, I've seen them all and I remember them. And there are some things in this Bad Boy movie that go back to some of the other movies.
Because I feel like I know the first one, we've seen ad nauseum because it's, they showed on TNT like, every other month. But and I remember parts of the second one, but I'm like a little sketch on the third one. I know I saw it, but it didn't really stick with me.
I'm gonna tell you what. I am gonna say this one thing. One of the best action scenes in this movie
Mm-hmm.
did not include Will Smith or Martin Lawrence.
Mm.
It was an unexpected character that kicked everybody's butt like that. And Will Smith and Martin Lawrence was watching through video and they're like, "Ooh, ah, ew." They were like, "Man." So it's worth seeing though.
All right.
So let's move on to our list.
Okay. Tonight's list, as we talk about well, you put celebrity relatives but actually, before we talk about the list, can I talk for a minute to our audience?
Yeah, talk to our audience for a
Just
minute.
want to talk to you and say thanks for tuning in, hanging out. Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture. Well, actually, we don't explain it as much as we just rant, as you just saw Kenny do, and talk about different topics. Something we started during the pandemic, but we've continued on. Just because it's a fun way for the two of us to bond and also to bond with you, our pop culture kids who tune in, and we so appreciate it. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And if you are hanging out with us on YouTube, Facebook, follow us and click the thumbs up, give us all the likes and all that good vibes. But if you are listening to us, we want to thank you too, because this is also available as a podcast. You can find out more information on our website, www.kathyandkenny.com. You can also check us out Tuesday nights on Who's Got Next Radio, where, again, we just keep the conversation going as we talk pop culture news, and other such things. All right.
Okay.
I'm trying to get the reading down. I'm getting it. Slowly but surely, I'm getting it. But let's go on to tonight's list. Okay. If I press the right button, maybe. I'm having one of those kind of Sunday nights. I don't know. I swear, it's just,
the club effect.
huh?
I like the club effect in the background music. I feel like I'm like,
Like you're clubbing.
Yeah,
But
like
as
I'm
we
in,
take
like,
a look at,
squad
and
thing.
you know what, I think for the thumbnail, and I wasn't trying to clickbait anyone. I honestly, at first I thought we talked about siblings, but I know some of the people we're talking about tonight aren't necessarily siblings, but are, relatively speaking, just relatives. And tell us, before we get into the list, what prompted your list, or what went into putting these people on the list? Because for those of you just joining us, or who haven't been here for the 3-year journey we've been online, usually what happens is I kind of do the sound effects and all the production-y stuff, and come up with some of the slides of what we talk about. And by the way, all using Ecamm. So if you are doing a podcast or doing something like that, check out Ecamm. It's an amazing bit of software. You do need a Mac. Sorry about that, but you can check our link in the description too, and get you a trial to Ecamm, because it's actually on sale now. So cool stuff. But in any case, Kenny comes up with the list of whatever we talk about as a topic. So what prompted this list, or how did you decide who goes on, who's not on? How's your brain work?
I was watching some old clips of the Dave Chappelle show, and I came across Charlie Murphy, and I thought about it for a minute. And then I thought about Tom Arnold. I thought about some of the other people on the list that we have coming up, who are not really celebrities, but only famous because they have famous celebrities that kind of got them in. So that's what prompted me to do that. And I was looking for something different to do. Next week, I have no idea until tomorrow morning what we're going to be talking about. But
Well, if I could actually see Bad Boy 4, we could actually do a review of the movie.
We could do a review of the movie, and we can also talk about how some of these movies that are like 30 years old, and then they do these old, they reboot them with the same people. Like they didn't need to do the Matrix 4.
Hmm.
That was horrible.
Wait, the Matrix 4? There was a fourth
Yeah,
Matrix? I remember
there was
the
a
three,
fourth
the
Matrix, and
trilogy.
it was only on 8. Yeah, they have trilogy, but then they came back 20 years later with the Matrix 4, and it was on HBO. And I remember watching it with George, and 25 minutes in, George shut it off and said, "Is it me?" Or I was like, "No, this is trash."
Mm. Again,
So
when they keep dipping into that well, trying to make some more
yeah,
money. And you know what? And well, again, in comedy, there's like the rule of three. I think the same should be said for movies. You know what? If you're going to do a trilogy, do a good, decent trilogy and leave it alone. Although
well,
maybe not in the case of The Godfather, maybe the third one shouldn't have happened. But
the Fast and Furious is on number 11, and they're pretty good.
I mean, but cars in space. I mean, I'm not going to go
So
down that road.
let's not go down that level. Let's go to our list, and let's start at the bottom of our list, and we're going to start with Mick Jagger's offspring, Elizabeth Jagger.
Well, doesn't he have like
Who-
9 or 10 kids or something? He's got like a
I
ridiculous
don't know.
amount
I
of
don't know
kids.
how many kids he. All I know is Mick Jagger's the same age as Joe Biden, and Mick Jagger's still running around on stage dancing. He's just here in Philly. He was just in the Philly area about 2 weeks ago, and a friend of mine was there and showed me a clip of him just running up and down on stage, having a good time dancing, and like he was still like in his 20s or 30s. So hey, God bless him, man. Shoot. But his daughter Elizabeth Jagger has been in one or two movies, has been a model. I think mainly she models, and she's done some other things, but she's somebody who now is famous. And let's be honest, she probably wouldn't be that famous if she wasn't the daughter of Mick Jagger.
Oh, totally. Well, and again, what are they called? Nepo babies?
Nepo baby.
Nepo
And
babies.
our next one is another big Nepo baby who I'm trying to figure out what talent she actually has. But Kelly Osbourne.
You are just brutal tonight.
I am totally brutal. Now, Kelly Osbourne right now looks way different than what she did when she first came on TV. So we know what money does for looks now. You can get things done to you that make you look totally different. I
She
actually
looks more
like
like
when
her
she
mom
first,
now, I think. But
yeah, well, when she first got on TV, looked like a regular, ordinary girl, and she was a young lady. She looked ordinary. And now she's kind of made up and kind of done up and looked all fashionable. I actually liked her better the way she looked when she first appeared. But she first appeared on a reality show for her dad, Ozzy Osbourne, and the Osbourne family all appeared. And you wouldn't, had it not been for that reality show, you would not give two drops on who Kelly Osbourne was. So she got to host a couple other things, and now she's Kelly Osbourne. So next on our list. This is another reason I did this. This is another reason I picked this. There's a TV show that's going to be starting the third season is coming in July, I believe July 10th. And it'll be playing on Hulu the day after, and I forget if it's ABC or NBC, one of those. But it's called,
well, dude, if you're coming up with the list and we're sharing information, do some research.
I had it in my head because I watched this show religiously because I
But no,
love
you're
the show.
57. Your head ain't working. Write this stuff down. Do you not have a show
All right.
notebook?
No, I don't have a show notebook. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to
usually
go
like to
get you a
note
show
things.
notebook. That's some simple
Um,
stuff.
Anyway, it's a show where they guess who the celebrity is.
It's like a game
They
show.
guess who, yeah, no, it's a reality show. So what
Oh,
they do is they get a bunch of people in a mansion,
okay.
and they all are related to a celebrity of some sort, whether it be a sports celebrity, a political celebrity, movie celebrity, singing celebrity, and they're all related, and you have to figure out who they're related to.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it is kind of like it's like a game show.
It's kind of like a game, but it's kind of like a Big Brother thing.
Okay, so because now that's the one thing I'm just not into is reality television. I'm like, I got too much reality in life. I really, although I do enjoy a good vlog or following some people online, but like on YouTube, but I don't know. To me, network
Okay,
television has lost it for me with all their reality TV shows.
I'm sorry. The show's called Claim to Fame,
Claim to Fame,
and
and the
and
host
I
of
and
Claim to
last thing
Fame.
is Frank Jonas and Kevin Jonas.
Okay, so you got some
So Kevin
Jonas.
Jonas is one of the Jonas brothers. Frank Jonas is the little brother who's not in the band.
He's the bonus
So
Jonas.
yeah, he's the bonus Jonas. And I actually had a conversation with Kevin Jonas on the telephone one day.
Oh wow! Why were you talking to
He,
Kevin
he
Jonas on the telephone?
because I'm Kenny Walker, and
Uh,
things like that happen to me.
Explain.
No, he was on Good Morning America. They were doing a benefit where they were collecting money for some cause, some worthy cause. And I called in, and I got Kevin Jonas as one of the celebrities who took my money. And my girls were asleep, and I woke them up, and I said, "Dude, would you mind if I put you on speakerphone? Because my girls are right here, and they would kill me if they won't believe me." And he goes, "Yeah, sure." And I put him on speakerphone. And I woke up. It was Kiana and Olivia, and I woke them up. And I'm like, "Hey guys, I got Kevin." And they're like, "What?" And he says, "Hi, how you doing?" They're like, "Wait a minute, that's Kevin Jonas." And they talk to Kevin Jonas. But
Bonus Jonas needs to be
Claim
trademarked.
to Fame is a show, and the second season, this was the great thing about it. The son of Donny Osmond was on the show, and all the contestants were younger people, except for one lady who was a little older. Donny Osmond's son looks just like his dad, just like his dad. And this guy made it to the end because nobody could figure out who he was.
Nobody knew who Donny Osmond's
Donny
son was,
Osmond, nope. They thought
and
it
he
was
looked
Davy
like him.
Jones. He looked just like him. And no, they were saying all these other weird things that was out of order. And I'm like, no, it's Donny Osmond. It's Donny Osmond.
Just look
I
at
needed to
him.
be on the show and be related to a celebrity because, damn, he was the easiest one there to get. Besides,
Now
the
I'm sorry.
scientist
I
kid.
think you said what channel it's on, but Claim to Fame is on
Claim to Fame. It's on Hulu.
Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Okay.
But I know it shows on one of the NBC, ABC channels the day
Okay, so
before,
it
but
is
it's on
on
Hulu.
it's on regular TV, but you can also watch it on Hulu. Because now I
Yes,
feel like I
yes.
need to go back and watch, because evidently the third season is coming out now. Has Franklin Jonas always been the host, or is this a new thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Franklin and Kevin have always been the hosts.
Okay.
So, next on our list, we're going to put these two together.
Okay.
Melissa Rivers and Edgar Rosenberg. Now, Melissa Rivers was on the reality show with Joan Rivers before she passed, and the mother and daughter on the show together. Edgar Rosenberg was Joan Rivers' husband who committed suicide, and I believe it was 93 that he committed suicide. But here's the thing. People knew who Edgar was because half of Joan Rivers' act was about her husband, Edgar.
Mm.
She would always tell jokes about Edgar. And Edgar was a real person. So people knew who Edgar was, and that was her husband. So Edgar Rosenberg and Melissa Rivers are, from Joan Rivers. And now Melissa Rivers, I believe, is still doing things and hosting things or whatever. So it is what it is. Next is the great actor Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
And what is Nick Cage's real name, Kathy?
Nicholas Coppola.
Yes. And you know how I got the last name Cage?
See, now that's the kind of stuff I know.
Okay.
That's my pop
So he
culture
changed
card.
he changed his name to Cage so he wouldn't get the benefits of being a Coppola. He didn't want to be mixed in with that.
Mhm.
So then he was also a nerd like yours truly. And one of his favorite heroes was Luke Cage, Power Man. So he changed his last name to Cage from Luke Cage. So Nick Cage. There you go.
And isn't that also what prompted his uncredited cameo in, oh gosh, it's an MCU movie. And again, my nerd card is in jeopardy. I know. But there was an appearance of Nicolas Cage as Superman when the Flash.
In the Flash movie.
Right.
Well, that might have been some old footage.
No, I think he actually he did it.
Okay, well, regardless of that, 20, 30 years ago, they did make a film with Nicolas Cage as Superman that nobody's seen cuts from because they didn't finish the film. And we don't want to talk about the Flash because that was such a horrible movie.
It was, but to me, for that kind of time travel, I know.
The one thing that fans did not want to see ever again was George Clooney as Bruce Wayne. And what did they do at the end of this movie? They made George Clooney Bruce Wayne again.
But you know what?
The worst Batman-
Kenny, you
the
want
worst
to
Batman
be
in history
true to the
besides
comic
Christian Bale.
books and everybody else. I mean, it would have been lovely to have Michael Keaton at that end, but Michael Keaton's already in the MCU in another. Anyway, but that's all beside the point. They probably had to use George Clooney because they couldn't, cross-pollinate the other people they've used in the MCU.
You already had Michael Keaton in the movie anyway.
What?
But, I mean, you already had Michael Keaton in the movie anyway.
Right.
So you could have used him again. But the worst Batman besides Christian Bale, and you pull him into this movie. See, I'm just done with it. I'm done with it. Next on our list is a guy who just seems, I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Wait,
like.
Kenny, before you go next, because I know you make the list, but I told you I added something to the list.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You should stop me.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Then I'm sorry. I threw this one in because after you put the Nick Cage in, it reminded me of this one, which is George Clooney, who's related to Rosemary Clooney, and I think even his father used to be the host on AMC. Well, he was an actor as well, but also his cousin is Miguel Ferreira, who is Mel Ferreira's son, but another actor, and I think he actually Miguel passed a couple years ago. But in any case, that's his cousin. That's why I threw that photo in there too. So he's all kinds of Hollywood connected and related.
Nepotism.
And when you talk,
Yeah.
total Nepo baby. But again, he will always be George the handyman from Facts of Life in my mind. So even before ER, I remember him from Facts of Life. Because, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them all. And there you have.
The Facts of Life.
The Facts of Life. All right, back to your list.
Got to get it right.
Every once in a while,
back to the
something will
list.
strike me, and I'll add to the list. So that was my addition, and I'm sorry I didn't clue you in.
Yeah, okay. It's written up here too, and I totally missed over it. But next on our list is a guy who seems kind of slimy to me anyway, and I don't know how he broke his way in, but I guess when you sleep with the right people, you get your way. Tom Arnold, who married Roseanne, and let's for his fame and fortune, he slept with Roseanne, so he really did take one for the team. He took a big hit for the team. Nobody would want to do that. But he slept with Roseanne, married her, and then he became a star.
But see, here's the thing. Like, even if you are getting your fame by relation or by being a relative or knowing somebody, ultimately you do have to have some talent on your own. And I think in what was the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? that he was in True Lies.
Yeah.
I
But
think,
I mean, he's done some good stuff. He's done some good comic roles
right.
in a
He's
few
had
movies.
some
He's
good.
But that statement, the next people are going to prove that wrong. Because the Kardashians ain't a talented one in the whole bunch.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. And you know what? And here is my rant. And I didn't think so at the time because I actually watched it some 35, 40 years ago already. No, not the Kardashians. I watched a show called The Real World. It was on MTV. And at the time, maybe because I was living in New York City, I thought, oh, this is kind of cool to kind of look inside and see how these people were all getting along and living together, especially since I was in a situation where I had roommates and we were all kind of from these different kind of backgrounds and it had something in common because we all went to the same college. But in any case, so it intrigued me and it pulled me in. And I think I stayed with it until the season of Puck, and then I lost it. But that to me, The Real World from MTV, that opened the floodgates for this kind of crap, for us to have Kardashians famous for just being. Now, basically, even their dad, who, and again, I will say this, it is kind of odd, and I know, people get old, life happens, and you do pass away. Because OJ has passed away. But it seems like his lawyers all kind of checked out early.
Yeah, they all came up and checked it out.
But anyway, Ron Kardashian, who was a friend of OJ's, was their dad, and I guess because of that case, he had a certain amount of fame or notoriety, but their fame was just on being on this reality show, which again, all this reality crap we're dealing with now is because of The Real World. I'm
originally Kim Kardashian became famous because she had a butt in the air on video with a celebrity. I think she slept with Ray J or something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she slept with Ray J and the tape leaked.
Like the Pam Anderson, Tommy Lee tape.
Yeah, there's a video of Kim Kardashian getting on a stage with Prince and him kicking her off stage because she know how to dance. And you can't be funky. You can't be hanging with Prince. You don't get up on stage and not. He goes, "Oh, you don't know what you're doing." Yeah, he said, "You don't know what you're doing. Get up on the stage. Get up on the stage." Now, when Prince filmed The New Girl, the episode of The New Girl, they wanted a lot of celebrities in that house. Mm-hmm. So the party would have a lot of celebrities. One of the celebrities they invited was some Kardashians. But then somebody said, wait a minute, Prince don't like the Kardashians. Like, do you want Prince or do you want the Kardashians? So they had to tell the Kardashians to leave. So Prince wouldn't know they was on the set. They didn't want Prince to know that the Kardashians was on the set. So they had to kick the Kardashians out. And if you ever see that New Girl episode with Prince in it, it is the bomb diggity. And it's not just because I'm a big Prince fan. It's tight. It's tight.
You know what? And I think one time you talked about it, and I didn't realize this thing existed. So I had to go back in the archives, and I actually did watch that episode of The New Girl. And I'm surprised I never really, because there were a lot of people on there. I actually like Zoe Deschanel. And she plays quirky roles very much, and The New Girl was perfectly suited for her. But I never really watched that show. I might have to go back and archive it, and like I did with Young Sheldon, and kind of binge it.
I have been watching Young Sheldon, and I like it.
Yeah, and again, you actually turned me on to The Big Bang because I didn't. And here's my thing. A lot of times I will try to be a little countercultural and cultural, and then if people are raving about a show, I'm kind of like, I'll catch it. Yeah, maybe. because that happened with Breaking Bad. There was just so much hype about it. I was like, too much, too
I
much.
never watched. I never
But
watched
then
Breaking Bad.
I watched it. I got into it. It was good. I said the same thing about Walking Dead. I got into that. But again, I think during the pandemic, it got too real. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that's when I think a lot of people's kind of attitude towards that show kind of shifted because we didn't know what was going down and whether we, had to be, on that Rick Grimes journey.
We didn't know. Yeah,
Exactly.
We didn't know who was
So
actually gonna
it's like
turn into zombies
Walking
because
Dead
of this,
became a little too real. I'm like, okay, I bet. But in any case, but Big Bang was one of those shows that people were raving and ranting about, and I was like, eh. But now when I go back and I watch episodes of it, it is kind of funny. It's kind of like,
yeah, it is very funny.
Kenny,
Now, yeah.
Kenny, instead of Penny, get it?
Oh, I get it. Don't do that again. So, last on this is a man who got his fame through family, but this dude was extremely funny anyway in his own right. And we're going to end on this with Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy was Eddie Murphy's brother, and Eddie Murphy described his brother Charlie in the early years of Eddie Murphy's fame. Charlie Murphy was kind of like the bad boy who, if something needed to be done that they didn't want Eddie Murphy to get his hands dirty or something like that, somebody needed snatched up or something, you sent in Charlie Murphy. That's
somebody needs to be snatched up.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Sometimes, I mean, let's face it. Eddie Murphy came up in the 80s. His comedy hype started in the 80s. In the 80s, we're all Gen X here. In the 80s, we was old enough that we knew, like back in those days, you could snatch a mofo up and get away with it. Okay, everybody could get the fair one. Everybody could get a beat. Nowadays, everybody's calling lawyers and you're getting arrested for assault. Back in the day, it was on. Hence Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy, I believe, had already had some trouble with the law. So when he got out of jail or whatever, Eddie Murphy wanted to look out for his brother, so he had him with him all the time. And they were very close. And Charlie Murphy, and from watching the Dave Chappelle show, Charlie Murphy's telling stories about Prince and Rick James and everything else. And they would all say, like, when you interviewed Prince and Rick James before they passed away, they would say, oh yeah, that's a true story. Charlie wasn't lying. This is what really happened. But Charlie Murphy was an hilarious guy. And he was very funny. He's very funny on the Chappelle show. He was very funny in some of the movies like Hollywood Night. Not Hollywood Night, Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights. Mm-hmm.
Harlem Nights. He was in Harlem Nights. He was in another movie too where he was kind of funny. I forget what it was.
Yeah, he passed away at 57. Wow.
Yeah, at 57, yeah. So we're going to end on this with Charlie Murphy. I'll put him at the top because he well deserves his stardom, even if he got it from his brother being a star first. The Kardashians, I put them on second because they're useless. And I wanted to do a good contrast between somebody who has talent and a bunch of bimbos who don't. When you get something a conversation me and Mike were having earlier. As you get older, your filter becomes less and less filtered.
Your filter becomes less and less. Well, you totally lose the filter. Your filter is just about
you lose the filter. The older you get, the more you lose the filter. Anybody can get it.
The filter is just about God.
Get it. Yes.
So anybody can
Don't
catch
ask
one.
me. I will hurt your feelings. I will hurt your feelings. And go ahead and drink a Gatorade. No product placement. We're not being sponsored. No product placement involved.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Not sponsored. You hear me, Gatorade? We need a sponsor.
What, Gatorade? I don't know. I don't know who would sponsor us. Oh, you know what? I think I really want to get a sponsorship from was Funko Pop, because I think they need to.
I would love to. I would love.
Because you probably have tons of Funko Pops back there. So, did you grab one? Oh, look at you. You're Batman and who's the other one?
Batman and Black Panther.
Batman and Black Panther. There you go.
Yes,
You
Batman
have
and Black
Funko
Panther.
Pop bobbleheads.
Yes, I have Funko Pop bobbleheads. I have the Vision, Captain America, Iron Man, Superman, the Falcon, War Machine, Storm, and Wonder Woman. And I almost bought a Cassandra came Batgirl today, but I'm not. I wasn't going to take it out of the box, but because George, I was at George's house earlier, and he has some Funko Pop too, and he takes his out of the box. As you see, I keep some things in the box because one day they're going to be worth something. Yes, I keep things in the box. This is Blue Marvel, who's a very good black superhero that they need to make a movie about. They need to make a movie about Blue Marvel.
Who would star in it?
You know who I think would be a good Blue Marvel?
Who would make a good Blue Marvel?
Morris Chestnut.
Morris Chestnut. He's not too old?
Because no. Because Blue Marvel is an older man.
Okay.
But he's in good shape and he's the best. He's like more powerful than anybody. So you would need to make Morris Chestnut look. You need to put gray hair on to make him look a little older.
Oh, he has to be older. Okay. So
yes,
Morris
older,
Chestnut.
but Morris Chestnut is old enough to pull it off and still be in good shape. To do like all the stuff he needs to do. But I think Morris Chestnut would be a great Blue Marvel.
All right. You heard it here first. So Hollywood, if you're listening,
And I know my
We'll write the screenplay. But Morris Chestnut as Blue Marvel. I wonder, are there plans to make a Blue Marvel movie? We need to investigate that to see because if they have a figure for it, they must be planning something.
Yeah, I think they are going to plan to put him in something eventually. He'll be in something. I have very high hopes that he will be in something.
Oh wait, no, you don't, Lisa. She says she has a Prince Funko Pop that her grands gave her a few years ago.
Really?
So you better
the Prince one.
Yeah, you better keep that tight because Kenny will come over and be taking.
Yeah, because I know where you live. I know where you live.
He'll be knocking on your door like. Kenny,
and look,
Kenny,
I act like
Kenny,
I act like it's 1985. Anybody can get it, and I'll come take that.
Oh, well, you know what? It's the top of the hour or the bottom of the hour, and I don't know. We'll take a look at it. We might be coming to you a half hour earlier next week. If so, we'll let you know. And yes, I agree, Lisa. Morris Chestnut. What was I? I was actually watching Boys of the Hood like last week or 2 weeks ago. Although, again, since that whole indictment thing came out, I always have to look at Cuba a little differently now. But hey, in any case, Boys in the Hood getting a whole new meaning. But in any case,
man. Yes,
Morris
Lisa, keep it in the
Chestnut
box.
as this hero. But next week we will be back. Another topic. We thank you all for hanging out with us. Again, Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture. It's our pop culture podcast. We invite you to tune in live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Sunday nights, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We will be here. And until next week, we wish you love, peace, and pop culture.
God bless your soul and keep living peace.
Thank you for geeking out with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.